Hi Pisces, this is your horoscope for September 2017. Thanks for joining me. It is Mercury retrograde, so I've changed a lot of the formats of my videos. Tell me what you think, please give me some feedback. If you prefer longer videos or shorter ones, if you want a chart here, let me know. Any other ideas, just let me know. I make these videos for you guys. So if you have an idea that you think that would allow you to enjoy them more, then let me know so I can make the changes. Okay? Now in September we've got Uranus trining Mars, which is a harmonious relationship between these two planets, and they have this relationship until the 11th of September in your second and in your sixth houses. So what that means is Uranus, the rebel, is sitting in your second house, and it's going to give you a lot of ideas about how you can create additional income for yourself. Mars is the male principle, and it represents desire and what you want. And sitting in your sixth house, that's your day-to-day routine and work. So until the 11th, you're really going to question if what you're doing is right or whether you could do something else which would be more lucrative. Mercury moves into Leo from Virgo on the 1st of September, and it retrogrades back into your sixth house. Mercury is retrograding at the moment, so it's in Virgo, it goes backwards into Leo, and the sixth house is your day-to-day routine and work. You're going to be really fired up about making some sort of change in your working life. Be careful, Mercury retrograde makes communication more stifled and difficult, and there's room for error. So if you have this major passion to quit your job and to start your own job, make sure that you don't do that on a whim. Make sure that you plan that properly. And ideally, if there is a way to delay that until the 5th of September, please do, because that's when Mercury goes direct and you'll have fewer problems then. Venus is in Leo until the 20th in your 6th house, and then it moves into Virgo in your 7th house. So Venus is with Mars in your 6th house. Venus is the archetypal female, Mars is the archetypal male. When they come together, they create new beginnings and new life. So until the 20th, you really have the ability to change your day-to-day experience. So your commute or your work or your life, the way your daily routine runs. As Pisces, you guys have the most potential to change the way your life looks on a day-to-day basis. And that can be small in terms of cutting down your commute, or it can be huge in terms of I now live in, Finland, and I'm doing something totally different. When Venus moves into Virgo in your 7th on the 20th, the focus is going to change. You're going to start analyzing your relationships. So make sure that this change to the way you make money and the way your daily routine is and the way you work, make sure you engage with that process until the 20th, because you really can make progress there. And if you don't like your daily routine, you can change it. On the 5th of September, Mercury goes direct, hooray, and it goes direct in Leo in your 6th house. So now, on the 5th of September is really the time to say, okay, what are we going to do, what are we going to change, and how can we implement these changes? On the 6th of September, the full moon occurs in your sign of Pisces, and that's in your 1st house. So you're going to be showered with your own energy, you're going to feel completely at peace, completely comfortable in your own skin, and by listening to by being so comfortable, you can organically let these changes that you want to occur arise out of you. So make sure that you just relax and that you just kind of take some time for yourself, maybe even become reflective and have a piece of paper there and just see what organically comes out of you. This isn't the kind of change where you have to say, okay, I'm planning this and I'm looking it up and I'm doing the research. It's something that through your guidance, through your higher self, comes through and out of you, and it blossoms out of you like a flower. So that's the full moon. Also on the 6th of September, Mars, the archetypal male, moves into Virgo in your 7th house as well. So you're really now moving into relationship analysis mode. So you're analyzing both your work and your relationships. You're going to be more effective with the changes to the work. Up until the 20th, I would urge you to focus on that. From the 20th onwards, if you're not happy with your relationships or if you want to make changes to your relationship status, do it from the 20th onwards. You're going to have better results. On the 11th of September, Mercury goes into Virgo, a sign that it rules, and guess what? It's also in your 7th house of relationships. Mercury in Virgo is utterly intelligent because Mercury rules Virgo, and Mercury in Virgo is about taking loads of information in, being able to break it down and make sense of it. And because you've got that in your 7th house along with Mars and Venus, you're like the relationship whisperer, okay? If you have struggled with your relationships in the past, if you've had patterns that have repeated, you will become aware of those patterns so that you're no longer compelled to repeat the same faulty patterns. If you're in a relationship that you see doesn't work in some way, you will understand what possibly you can do to make that area of the relationship work. If you're single, you may get the insights in terms of what you're doing, or if you're in a situation that has an impact on why you're single. It's understanding about relationships. That's why I'm calling you the relationship whisperer, because you'll understand other people's relationships and will be able to give valuable advice if it's asked for. And you'll also have wonderful insight into your own relationships and what you do. I wish I was a Pisces, that would really help me. On the 20th of the month, the new moon occurs in Virgo. I think I've said this, but I'll make separate videos on the full moon and new moon too, because they're quite complicated, and I will make separate videos to really go into depth. But the new moon occurs in Virgo in your 7th house as well, and the new moon pulls Virgo energy into your 7th house. So not only are you the relationship whisperer, you're really going to have a breakthrough in terms of your relationships, whether you're single in a relationship or widowed, or you're no longer interested in relationships. Whatever it is, you will understand what it is you have to offer in a relationship, what has worked for you in the past, what hasn't worked, what you can change, what you don't need to change. You'll understand and have a really nice objective view of how to make relationships better. So if you're in the office, okay, and you just ramble on all day long, and no one can even bear to just, like, when they see you coming, they turn the other way. It's like, I don't have 30 minutes to listen to all this. And you have no awareness that you do that. You may think, God, you know, I'm such a nice, chatty person. Why don't people in this office like me? And with this kind of energy, you'll understand that, you know, each time just you pass someone and you have a 30-minute conversation, that might be a bit much for people. And with that insight, then you can make changes. And that shouldn't hurt your feelings or make you feel, oh, you know, people aren't interested in all my 30 minutes. You know, most people have the attention span of, I don't know, a couple of minutes. So it's not personal, but it allows you to make changes so that your future relationships can be better. Finally, at the end of the month, on the 30th, Mercury moves into Libra, and it goes into your 8th house. So going into October, you're really going to do well if you are dealing with anything to do with red tape or bureaucracy or institutions or big corporations where you have to have contact with them and where you have to form some relationship. So you go into October with a real kind of boost to that area of your life, whereas September is much more about relationships and self-knowledge. So really do the work. It will really free you up. It will really allow you to drop things that don't serve you, and it will just make your life work more effortlessly and be more positive. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful September. If you'd like a private reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. I use astrology, tarot, and numerology in my readings. And to draw up your birth chart, I use your place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth. If you don't have the time of birth, then I can either use sunrise or I can rectify the chart. So once I've got that, I've got a blueprint of your soul. It shows me what your life purpose is, what your vocational aptitudes are, strengths, weaknesses, obstacles you have to overcome. And by looking at the predictive astrology and the astrocartography, I can see what locations are best for you, what's coming up for you in future in terms of your career, your love life, your finances, your spirituality, family matters, health, anything at all, friendships. So if you're interested in that, please book a reading on my website, gregoryscott.com. Just click on the readings tab and I'll be in touch with the schedule. Please also remember to subscribe to this channel. And before I finish, I just want to pay tribute to Louise Hay, who I read passed away this morning. Louise Hay wrote a book in the 80s called You Can Heal Your Life. And it really changed my life reading that book. When I first got into recovery and I was able to forgive which was her message, to forgive yourself for all the things that have happened to you and the things that you blame yourself for, and to learn how to love yourself. And she started Hay House Publishing, and she's an amazing woman, and she made a huge difference in my life. So I just want to thank her for what she's done, and I hope she's enjoying herself in heaven with all the other angels and helping, probably even helping them. She was like Venus in a way. She was like an archetypal mother figure to all of us hurt people who needed healing. And I'm ever so grateful. And if you aren't familiar with her, you know, her work lives on. If you feel like you need healing, You Can Heal Your Life is a wonderful, wonderful book. So I hope you have a great September. And I will speak to you in October.